Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, polytunnel first today on this Father's Day, and it looks like those chilies are growing well, considering I've taken some of those fruits off. Don't know how tall they'll get, but we'll have to select one or two for the show. Can't pick enough lettuce, and the second successional sowing of cucumbers, market more because we thought we'd lost most of them, are actually coming along well now. This is the South African squash, the gem squash, and as you can see, we've got fruits, and it's gone mad. I must pull that down again. Indoor carrots, and the Dan from Allotment Diaries onions are growing well, not as big as his. Giant parsnip. I'm not even going to scrape around the soil now to see how they're doing. I'm just going to keep leaving it. I've got one or two courgettes in the tunnel, and I'm just going to have to lift you up. Oh, where are we? So the grapes are doing quite well. Well, they're doing better the further they're away from the main stem. So I'll probably take a few of those off. I'll leave these runners on. Don't want to do too much this year, just in case what I have done is wrong. There's no show on the seeds from the Boskoop Glory grapes. The ones chitting at home, they're not doing nothing, so I'll put them in the freezer for 48 hours. And I'm going to see, and they're now in the airing cupboard, so if that makes a difference. And one of my subscribers said they may need to be ingested first. I'm not sure that I want to have a mess around looking for the seeds afterwards. The celery in the bucket of just my liquid plant food is doing remarkably well. I'm pleased with that, so I'll keep an eye on that. Need to get the remaining flowers in. Snapdragons, a few others there, and the stored parsnips, as you can see, they were too wet in that compost, but that's my last harvest. Those will be eaten today. Got some beetroot there sown in a bucket. It's gone better than the cardboard rolls, so that's what I should do again next year. And the birds have been having a go at the compost to fetch out any creatures, so there's some more beetroot there, radishes, autumn king, nantis and sweet candle. The last of the Jerusalem artichokes, won't be eating those. Harvested broad beans and some peas from the volunteer that the mice gave me. All the tops are out on this now, and unfortunately I missed one of the tops, and every bean all the way down was infested with black fly. I'm not interested in spraying anything on them, so tops are out, and we'll take the harvest as it comes. Celery bog, you may still be able to see the outlines of the containers under the ground. I'll keep topping those up with water, and the selection of runner and French beans just need a little bit more weeding. I did pull the bulk of them out, and the sunflower is up to about 4 foot now. I'm going to take the seed from the Swiss chard, and that's my last successional sowing of peas. Now I have noticed that because I've used the coffee grounds along the sides there, that some of the slugs have been leaving slime trails, so that's working, and we don't seem to get any issues with the flea beetle either. There's a strange reason this one's through the side shoot out, but I never did that one. It was always a funny looking one. Plenty of coffee grounds around all of the bean and pea family. We've got some pea pods on these now. We've had some really high winds, it's knocked them about, but I'll be able to crawl through there. Thin those sweet candle out, and I've also thinned the Nantis 5 out as well. They're far too crowded, they won't grow. Looks like they need a little drop of water. Some artichokes, giant beetroot, giant swede, really bulking out now. Had to remove some caterpillars off there. These are my Sarpomera seeds, the ones that I've grown from the pods. This is the second year. I'll explain more about this water piping system in another video. These are looking really well, and we've got some thinned out now to 1 seed per station. Not sure exactly what I did wrong with these, but never mind. The very, very long parsnips. Be interesting to see how well they do. As you can see, the outside giant veg aren't doing as well, but they may not go to seed. These are all Gladiator F1 parsnips this year, and the Jerusalem artichokes in these small pots. I'm keeping them watered, but hopefully they'll be restricted, them pots, and won't escape. That's the jacket potato challenge. It's doing quite well, that is. I've redone any stations now, so all the stations should have carrots, and that should keep us going throughout this year and into next. Hashtag potato tower challenge. It's died. I think it's either got too wet or I've tried to bury it too much, so I'll be taking this out. Trailing tomatoes. We've got the turnips there with a few beetroot in between, but unfortunately, because I've grew them in cardboard rolls, they haven't done as well. Now, a lot of the chard's going to seed again. I'll keep hacking it back. These are the Swedes. I'll be planting that beetroot that you saw earlier in between these, and I can harvest them as and when I need them. I'll go into the onion cage. The experiment with the Kelsey onion in the wood chips hasn't really gone very well. I don't know whether it's like Southpaw Davy said, too much nitrogen or needed nitrogen, but we'll see. Just an experiment. Some of these onions now are bulking out nicely. These are the Kelsey from Pete's back garden. At some stage I was concerned about the leaf miner, but I think it may just be damage from slugs. Red onions, this is the first year he says that they haven't gone to seed. I haven't had one go to seed. So I shall be checking, see what I actually did. But I'll be starting to harvest some of these, especially the ones that have dropped over. We'll take those first. I'll put some of my leeks in here, the rest are on plot 1. I don't think I need to go into the brassica cage. I think you can see that most of them are looking very healthy. Don't ask me what they are. I ain't got a clue. I do know the ones on the far side are the sprouts. That's the most important crop. The sweet corn is looking a lot healthier now. It's had a bit of plant food. I can probably take a few leaves off that for today's dinner. So, any room, that was a failed sweet corn, so that we stuck our lettuce in. And that's the best red cabbage. That may be the one that we end up taking to the show if it bulks out enough. Into a very, very busy fruit cage. The blueberries are there, starting to turn. So are the blackcurrants. Can't believe how well these gooseberries are doing. These are the red sort. I really do like these, and as you can see, they're also turning. They're still a bit hard. Yes, I have tried one. And the summer fruiting raspberries have just started to go as well. So it won't be long before these are ready. The heavy rain and winds has knocked these about something rotten. So I need to get this in here and sort this out. But the main fruit is on the old wood. And I'm looking forward to having some of those. Can't believe how many blackcurrants there are here. You don't really see them until they start to turn. This plot is becoming really, really productive, and occasionally we get some nice ones. There's that many now, you can't even tell that how many the birds are actually having. And remarkably, the autumn fruiting raspberries are ready before the summer fruiting. Unbelievable. Blackberries certainly look productive, and our pollinators are busily doing a few more. Well, the discs, the old CDs didn't do any good, so I shan't be using those again, but straw will be one of the benefits. Some of the loose roots from the compost I find that I put underneath, the birds were scratching it out looking for insects, so I think straw will be the best option next year, as has been suggested by my subscribers. Just harvest another quite large bag of rhubarb. I haven't picked on there for about a month, especially while the strawberries have been prolific. I'm finding that a lot of these stalks now are very, very thin. Lots of them, but very thin. Any suggestions, guys? Appreciate that. Definitely not short of rhubarb, but their sticks are a little bit too small to peel, if you know what I'm saying. The first of my yellow raspberries have started. I've been watching that very carefully, and that will be taken today before the birds get there. The spare rhubarb crowns that were in the containers, considering they've been starved of water, etc., they ain't doing too bad, just in case we lose any. But this bed was for where we had the strawberries last year. I didn't have enough strawberries, so a cucumber and 4 tomatoes there. And realistically, this has been very, very productive. Some of those nice red strawberries that we saw, that I picked up, actually came from here. It'll be interesting to see whether the vine weevil is still in there. We'll find out later on when they finish fruiting. Again, this time we've got 4 tomatoes and 2 cucumbers. They'll trail nicely down to the floor. Wildflower garden, a little disappointed. All those extra seeds, and it looks like most of them have come back from last year. That they're like the daisy type yellow, it's taken over. Now I'm thinking I'm going to take those out, give it a bit more light underneath, and see if we can get some of those seeds to come through. This will be bulked out a bit more with those surplus flowers, and we've got 1 sunflower and then those sweet peas, but I think they do need tining, and the wind's been really strong and it's blew them all off. Potatoes. This is the potato, the white ones, the kidney shaped ones that we found on this allotment. These are the purple variety that we found on this allotment. These are my save seed, I'll come back to that when I think of it, Marfonia. So we've got 4 containers there, 56 litre containers of Marfonia. And this is the potato that we replanted. It's keeping going, obviously a little bit stressed, but we'll see if we can get another £1.5 potatoes out of that. The hashtag small seed potato experiment. So that's this very, very, very minute potato compared with the normal size potato. So this is a really good comparison this time. And there we have the potato in a bucket of stones. Now, the last time I did this in 2016, we did get quite a big greenery, so hopefully it will grow a bit more to get those potatoes going. I did 2 more potato reveals. So we're on day 95. Last time it was day 80. I think it was 1.3 pound. So we have sort of doubled. Now those 6 potatoes there, they're on the larger size that I'm not always overly keen on, but we'll never refuse them. They're going to be my Christmas potatoes. And there we have it, 2.5 pound, 2.454 pounds. So we've actually doubled the amount of potatoes in 15 days. The comfrey experiment, you can see the comfrey cake experiment. It's not even covering the edges now to stop the weeds, but we'll leave it there, see what happens. But I will be drying it properly next year. So there's the 2 spaces from the potatoes. Now these potatoes I've watered them too much, then I haven't watered them enough. The ones that I've just revealed are a little bit dry. Pleased with the grapevine. That's the pomegranate bush tree, and that's my peach tree. Not sure how to prune that, so any tips on pruning peach trees so we'll get a fruit eventually. Again, that little bit of protection has now set that grapevine off. I'm just going to keep it protected all summer because it may not survive this winter. And yay! Come on, my little beauty. It's growing. Compost bin runoff. feeding from both sides so the worms don't get overpowered, and it's been very, very productive. It needs to be. Yes, I do need the plant food. I am emptying this regularly, and we're back up to the top again. It's lovely, lovely dark stuff, but I've only got half a drum there, and I've got 4 drums mixed up. Ignore the writing on the first one. This is the actual mix, but I'm literally using one of these every 2 days. So you can see we've got 1 banana left, 10 litres of banana, and I'm really short of wormery, but I'll make it up with the compost bin runoff. It's very similar material. Not going to show you all the fruit trees, but this is the Braeburn. There's a single apple on there, so that will be staying, and we've had quite a few drop off on the other varieties that we're not quite sure about yet, so I'll probably leave it another week and then restrict the whole tree to maybe 4 fruits. It'll be really interesting to get all the labels back on these so that I know exactly what it is. We've got 1 pair, so that will be staying on. Need to protect that. But I'm pleased. I'm really pleased how these fruit trees are going. I'd like to do a few shout outs. One to Hidden Harvest grow lights. Pop over and see that channel. Steve's Seaside Allotment, and Bill and Val 2 Plots of Heaven. I'll write them down in the comments in the description below. But some very interesting channels about at the moment. They support me, I support them. Happy gardening to you all. It's been good, this bad, but there's lots of pleasure. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.